Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I want to reading procedure text because this is my favorite text in the reading course. This is my name. My name is Muhammad Mutriki Rizki. Definition: procedural texts are instructional texts that provide step-by-step guidance on how to perform a specific task or procedure. There are several types of procedural text, each designed to guide readers through different processes. Here are some common kinds of procedural text along with example. Recipe: how to make spaghetti bolognese. Number 2, instruction manual. User manual for a smartphone. Number 3, how to guide. With example, how to build a birdhouse. Number 4, tutorials. With Photoshop tutorial, how to remove background. Number 5, standard operating producer or SOP. Laboratory SOP for conduction experiment. Number 6, assembly instruction. IKEA assembly instruction for a bookshelf. These are just a few examples of procedural text, but there are many others. It's tailored to guide readers through specific process or tasks. Generic structure. This is for generic structure. Number 1, goal or aim. The introduction section outlines the goal or aim of the procedure, explaining what the reader will achieve by following the instruction. Number 2, material or ingredient. This section lists material, ingredients, or equipment needed to complete the procedure. Number 3, step or procedure. The main body of the text presents the step-by-step instruction or procedure required to complete the task. Each step is typically numbered or bold for clarity. Number 4, tips or additional information. Some procedure texts may include a section with tips, suggestions, or additional information for readers successfully complete the task or process. And next is purpose. Procedure texts have three purposes. Number 1, to instruct. The primary purpose of procedural text is to provide clear and concise instruction on how to perform a specific task or process. By breaking down complex procedure into simple, easy to follow steps, procedure text help readers understand and execute the text efficiently. Number 2 is to inform. Procedure text inform readers about the material, equipment, and steps involved in completing a task or process. It provides readers with the knowledge and information they need to successfully carry out the procedure. Number 3 is to guide. Procedure text guidance reader through the necessary action or procedure required to achieve the desired outcome. It helps reader navigate the process, ensuring that they complete each step in the correct sequence. And the next is language feature. Language feature of procedural text is imperative mode. Procedure text typically use the imperative mode to give commands or instructions to the reader. Verbs are often used at the beginning of sentences to indicate action that need to be performed. Number 2, sequential order. Procedure text is organized in sequential order, with each step present in the order it should be complete. Clear, clear, clear transition words such as first, next, then, and finally are used to indicate the sequence of steps. And the next is technical vocabulary. Procedure text may include technical vocabulary or specialist terminology related to the task or process being described. Clear and precise language is used to ensure the readers understand the instruction. And last is consciousness. Procedure text is written in a concise and straightforward manner with unnecessary details omitted. Information is written in a clear and logical manner to facilitate understanding. And the next, social function. The social function of procedure text lies in the ability to facilitate communication, learning, and problem solving with society. Procedure text serves several important functions. 1. Knowledge sharing. 2. Empowerment. 3. Efficiency and productivity. And 4. Safety and compliance. Overall, procedure texts serve a valuable tool for communication, learning, and problem solving with society. Enable individuals to share knowledge, empower others, improve efficiency and productivity, and promote safety and compliance in various texts. And we go to exercise. Okay, this is the text of the question. You can pause to read. Next is the question. Analyze the elaborate the text both. Mention the generic structure of the text, goal, material, step, tips, additional information. The answer is goal. The introduction set the goal to teach the reader how to make an origami crane. The materials, a list of material required is provided. A square sheet of origami paper. The step, the core of the text provide detailed step-by-step instruction for folding the origami crane. And the last is tips. The conclusion offers additional information and tips. It encourages practicing with different paper and explores the concept of origami as an art form. Question number 2 is read down the language reader imperative mode, sequential order, technical vocabulary, consciousness. And the answer is imperative mode. This domination the instruction section. Verbs are used in the past form that directly tell the reader what to do. Example: fold the paper diagonally in half. Crease the fold well. Repeat the same fold. And the next is sequential order. The instructions are present in a clear sequential order, ensuring the reader folds the origami crane step by step. Transition like fold in half again and repeat the same fold. Guide the reader through the process. And the next is technical vocabulary. The text uses some technical terms specific to origami like crease and flap. Their terms help ensure clarity and avoid confusion. Consciousness. The instructions are consistent and focus on the essential step. Sentences are short and the point making it easy for the reader to follow along. The next is multiple choice. Number 1. What is the first step in making an origami crane? The answer is C. Folding the paper into a triangle. Number 2 is what is the purpose of folding the top point of the triangle downward? The answer is A. To create the head of the crane. Number 3. What do you do after folding the bottom flap drought? The answer is C. decrease the fold well. And number 4, how do you from the head and tail of the crane? The answer is B, by pulling out the top and bottom points. The last question is, what is suggest as a next step after completing the origami crane? The answer is D, all of the above. Next is highlight order think skill, hot question. Yeah. The question number 1 is, how do different folding techniques contribute to the structural integrity and aesthetic appeal of the origami crane? The answer in here is different folding technique such as valley fold, mountain fold, and reverse fold are strategically employed to create precise graces and integrate shape in the paper. Their technique play a crucial role in shaping the overall structure of the origami crane, ensuring its stability and enhancing its visual beauty. Number 2, what cultural significance does the origami crane hold in Japanese tradition, and how was the symbolism influenced its widespread widespread adoption as a symbol of peace and good fortune? The answer is the origami crane holds deep cultural significance in Japan tradition, symbolizing longevity, happiness, and good luck. It is also associated with the story Sadako Sasaki. The younger who folded thousands of paper cranes while battling leukemia, inspired by the belief that folding 1,000 cranes will grant her wish and healthy and peace. Sadako story and symbolism of the crane have contributed to its whisper adoption as a symbol of peace, hope, healing, both in Japan and around the world. The next is number 3. How can the principles of mathematics such as geometry, symmetry, and proportion be applied in origami design and construction? The answer is mathematics plays a fundamental role in origami design and construction, guiding the precise folding and shaping of paper to create geometrically interaction model. Concepts such as symmetry help maintain balance and harmony in the final design, while proportion ensure that folds are accurately aligned and dimensions are consistent. Geometry informs the creation of complex shapes and structure, allowing origami artists to explore a wide range of possibilities in their creation. Number 4. In what ways do origami serve as a form of artistic expression and cultural exchange, transcending geographical and cultural boundaries? The answer is origami serves as a universal language, creativity, and artistic expression, transcending geographical and cultural boundaries. Through origami, individuals from diverse backgrounds can connect, share, and appreciate the beauty of paper folding as a form of cultural exchange. Origami workshop, exhibition, and collaborative projects provide opportunity for people around the world to engage this action art form, fostering cross-cultural understanding and appreciation for diversity. The last question is personal question. How was learning to create origami can impact your perception of passion, precision, and creativity, and how do you plan to incorporate this skill into other aspects in your life. Learning to create origami crane has taught me valuable lessons in passion, precision, and creativity. Through the interaction folding process, I've learned to appreciate in the importance of passion and preference in enhancing desired outcome. Additionally, the emphasis of precision has honed my attention to detail of taught me to execute its fold with care and accuracy. Moreover, origami has sparked my creativity, providing a unique outlet for self-expression and experimentation. Moving forward, I plan to apply this skill to other aspects of my life, utilizing passion and precision to tackle challenges and embracing creativity to explore innovation solution to problem. Hope it useful for us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.